everyone, this is Ravinder Dundra and welcome to my channel. In this lecture, we will discuss about these public facilities in continuation with the previous topic. So in this topic, we will see what are these public facilities. Public facilities means simply you can say the facilities or the services provided by the government to its citizens. We call it as this public facilities. So this lecture we will see why these public facilities are very important. So in the previous lecture when we have discussed, I told about this, we have compared about this states like Haryana, Bihar and Kerala based on this per capita income, and we have also seen based on this infant mortality rate, literacy rate as well as net attendance ratio. So when we compare these states based on this per capita income, we have seen that Haryana is somewhat leading when it compared to other states such as Kerala and Bihar. But when we have compared these states again based on this literacy rate, infant mortality rate as well as net attendance ratio, we have seen that Kerala is somewhat leading compared to this Haryana and what is that, Bihar. So therefore the question arises, why Haryana is lagging behind Kerala in all these aspects is that the only reason, very clear reason is that it is money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you need. As I told, the per capita income is higher in Haryana, but it is lagging behind in these facilities. Why? Because again the reason is that very simple, money in your pocket cannot give you anything, cannot give everything what you need. For example, you can see money cannot buy a pollution free environment, and sometimes it may not protect you from this infectious diseases unless if you are already living, or if you have to shift to a community where there is already a pollution free environment. So such kind of things money cannot buy. So not only these things, many other things which are very essential, which are highly required for these humans to live on this earth, what happens is that money cannot give all these things to these humans. Therefore the only solution to these problems is that we need to provide these goods collectively. That means instead of providing these facilities to one and only person, like to the individual, we have to provide all the facilities collectively. That is why we have mentioned that something known as this public facilities, public goods. That means every person can collectively use instead of providing to one person. Such as, for example, if you take something like a school or security, for just imagine that, for example, there is a village, to entire village if we can keep one security guard, it is somewhat less costlier than if we can compare where each house is having its own security guard. So in the same way, for example, in a village, one and only one boy is liking to go to this school and remaining people are not showing interest. Therefore that one person may not be able to study. The government may not show interest in providing these facilities. So therefore what we have to do is that whatever the goods that are there, whatever the required things are there, these things the government should provide them collectively. That means having collective security for entire village, having one common security. At the same time, for a village, all the students, all the children who are interested, they should have a school. So like this, whatever the things that are required, we need to provide them collectively. For example, I have again, when you have seen in this states like Kerala, the low infant mortality, there is a low infant mortality rate in this Kerala, and the literacy rate is very high. At the same time, the net attendance ratio is also very high. What are the reasons behind this having low infant mortality rate is that in Kerala, this government is providing adequate health and educational facilities. One of the very basic facilities that need to be provided by the government to its citizens are this health as well as education. So if the government is providing properly of these services such as health as well as education, you can actually develop your state in a proper way. And at the same time, another important public facility that need to be provided by the government is this public distribution system, or we can also say that PDS. So if government is providing proper health facilities, if government is providing proper educational facilities, and if the PDS system is working properly, then we can actually ensure that somewhat well developed state instead of having focusing only on income or instead of focusing only on money. Therefore, here in Kerala, what happened is that the Kerala government has provided this basic health and educational facilities, and at the same time here the PDS system also works in a very good condition or in a better manner. So that is the reason why the Kerala is having low infant mortality rate. Why? Because if the health facilities are very good, the children will be very healthy, the citizens will be very healthy, and if they are educated, automatically the state will be developing in according to these human resources, or in any other manner the state will be developed. Therefore, the public facilities are very important. In that, health as well as education is also very important. Next, we will see about this something known as this body mass index, or we call it as BMI. To let us discuss about this something other very interesting thing, that is about this body mass index. What is this body mass index? Is that this body mass index, it gives whether a person is underweight, whether a person is in normal weight, or whether a person is overweight, or sometimes you can also say that whether a person is malnourished, whether a person is properly getting nutrition, or if he is overeating or overtaking the food. So to find out these things, we use this something known as this body mass index. And how to calculate this body mass index is that this BMI is equal to weight of the person in kgs divided by height of the person in meter square. So by seeing this weight of the person in kgs divided by height of the person in meter square, we will get this something known as BMI, or we can also call it as this body mass index. Suppose after calculating this, if it is below 18.5, we can say that so and so person is underweight, or we can say that he is malnourished. And if it is between 18.5 to 25, if it is between these numbers, we can say that it is a normal weight. But if it is above 25, we call it as this overweight person. Now for example, let us calculate mine, whether I am overweight or normal weight or whether underweight. We will see by calculating my body mass index. So BMI is equal to, here weight of the person, my weight, if you can take, it is something like 64 kgs, and if you divide it by height, it is something like 1.65 meters. So we need to take it as square. So 64 divided by 1.65 into 1.65. So it comes out to be something known as 64 divided by 2.72. And here we will get something like 23.2 like this. So therefore it is this 23.2 is lying between this 18.5 to 25. Therefore my weight is a normal weight. Suppose if it is something like greater than 25, then we may say that if it is greater than 25, we may say that the person is overweight. If it is less than 18.5, we may say that the person is underweight. So by using this BMI or body mass index, we will calculate about this overweight, normal weight, or body mass index. It is not applicable for this something who are the growing children. For example, children like 14 to 15 years, this body mass index is not applicable. And if you want to know of the children who belongs to this age group, that is from 14 to 15 years, in the economic textbook of class 10 CBSE, the last pages, you can find out the measurements given for this age group, that is from 14 to 15 years. And this is applicable for the people, those who are above 18 years of age. Thank you.